$44 billion that is supposed to be, as it were, collected, or take that for the people of Ghana. How is that a corruption scandal, or how, in your estimation, how is that termed as corruption in your own definition?
Thank you very much. We'll take a short break for just 5 minutes while we remain seated.
Step up with DST.
Conservative estimate from the oversight work I did is that Ghana could have obtained those drip equipment if we did it competitively and there was competitive pricing without the inflationary pricing that took place. We could have got them for about $75 million and not the $187 million that we were billed with. And I still maintain that Ghana did not receive value for money so far as the DRIP project is concerned. And finally, let me say that I found the Vice President's conduct in this affair quite problematic. In opposition, he was vehemently opposed to single sourcing, and he did put out consistently post that single
you
sourcing.
said the vice president.
Yes, the
Is
former
it the
vice
current
president.
or
Former. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who says that he's champion. He says this whole drip thing is his idea. That's what he told the country. And he indeed asked all those who were trying to take credit, including members of parliament, to back off, that it is his idea. In the course of my oversight work, I found his conduct not consistent with what he promised the people of this country, that he will make sure that projects are competitive, that sole sourcing, inflationary pricing will be a thing of the past. It is regrettable, to say the least, that he was not consistent. And when he had the opportunity with this, his flagship DRIP initiative, he departed from what he assured the nation he will do as vice president. So those are the concerns that I have about DRIP, and I am hoping that Ghana will be able to retrieve some money. Fortunately, only 25% has been paid. Not all the liabilities have been met. So I have encouraged the new Mahama administration to renegotiate the DRIP initiative so that we can save money, because my conservative estimate is that it's been inflated by more than $100 million. And there is a need to save money. $100 million can do so much for a country. There's so much that we can do with $100 million. And I'll encourage my colleague, the Honorable Asifwa, to get close to me. I can share some of the work we have done on this with you. And when you see yourself, I'm sure you'll become an advocate. You will join me that we should renegotiate the DRIP intervention.
And the DRIP.
The follow-up stems from the fact that did outrageous. Now, he said he has done some work, and I have also done some work, and I'm happy to share that with you. Honorable nominee, in my hands here is the contract itself, and maybe I'll go into specifics. Government bought a tipper truck for $78,000.
Have done some work.
Yes.
Now, the amount being outrageous was based on the assessment of the work that he has done, but not your own. So the way you are going about the question, that is what is calling for worry.
Honorable
because
Chairman,
the work that you have done is not the same as the work that he has done.
Honorable Chairman,
your indicators may not be the same as his indicators.
Respectfully, I am saying that in the contract, government bought a tipper truck for $78,000. I am also referring the honorable nominee.
With all due respect,
my question stems from
he said he has done some work,
and he said it's
and you have done some work.
Yes.
Now, the amount being outrageous was based on the assessment of the work that he has done, but not your own. So the way you are going about the question, that is what is calling for worry.
Honorable
because
Chairman,
the work that you have done is not the same as the work that he has done.
Honorable Chairman,
your indicators may not be the same as his indicators.
Respectfully, I am saying that in the contract, government bought a tipper truck for $78,000. I am also referring the honorable nominee to Zonda, an agency that deals in tipper truck. When you go to Zonda today, Zonda sells a tipper truck for about $82,000 or $83,000. And government bought a tipper truck for $78,000. With this background, how do you term this as outrageously inflated contract? Because I don't see it.
Well, I don't know whether Zonda is the cheapest in the world, but I would ask the nominee to provide a question.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, clearly my good friend, the Honorable Asifwa, has to do more work. As for this work he has done, with all due respect, it leaves much to be desired. For Zonda's trucks, they pay duties. You imported your trucks free of duties. I did an RTI request, and I asked the DACF administrator. Zonda is respect. The oversimplification of matters it's not helpful. And I am willing and ready to submit the work that we did. I say procurement breaches, no value for money, inflationary pricing, and it's a fact. I'm so convinced that Ghana could have saved $100 million. And you should stop comparing vehicles that have been imported with duty and those that you are buying without paying duties. It's not helpful, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you very much. The questioner said he is also involved. Are you involved?
With the greatest of respect, Chairman, please let me be.
Recognize Honorable Shaibu.
Chairman, let me thank you very much for the opportunity. Sami, congratulations.
Thank you very much, my good brother, who supplies me smokes.
Sami, a well-deserved nomination. I wish you very well in this new role. Sami, let's move away from this corruption, oral, and whatever, and get to Pan-Africanism so that you can cool down a bit. A movement that has come to stay, a movement that has taken the whole world. I note that in the last 2 hours, you have mentioned Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Tell us briefly, don't go to your involvement. What's your motivation on Pan-Africanism? Thank you.
Pan-Africanism is the only way the African continent can be liberated. As the Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said, nobody will care about our fortunes and our destinies more than ourselves. The reason why we are the most endowed continent in terms of resources, and yet we are the poorest, is because we have not taken control, the commanding heights of our economy, as President Achampong would say. The Pan-African agenda is for us to take control of our resources, to chart our own path, not to be pawns, not to engage in proxy wars with others. That is the key to our emancipation and our liberation. And I see in President Mahama a leader who believes in Pan-Africanism. And if you look at his priority areas, even the first countries he has visited, as president, he's yet to go to Europe or Asia or anywhere. It should tell you immediately, you know, where his priorities are and how he remains committed to the Pan-African agenda. And to conclude practically, I think that we should take a second look at our negotiation skills and abilities as a people. And it's one area that I'll be seeking the assistance of a lot of agreements that we get into. And it's clear that we could have gotten a better deal if we had really put Pan-Africanism at the center, looked at the continent's interests and subjected all other secondary interests, out of the window, we can then get better. And I don't want to go into specifics because of how sensitive these matters are, but really at the core of our retarded development is the fact that we have not really imbibed, the philosophy of Pan-Africanism as the likes of Du Bois, Kwame Nkrumah, Padmore, and others espouse. And I think that the time has come for us to really trace our roots, to genuine Pan-Africanism.
Thank you very much. Any further question? Then I proceed to give the floor to Honorable Jerish Aid.
Congratulations.
Thank you
well done. Before asking the question, I've made an observation. I just want to run by you. First of all, I've watched you over the period, and I think you have grown very well. And I also think that people have watched you, and you've done very well for yourself. Save that today, before the process started itself, my observation was that you were a bit upset. And throughout the vetting process, you've also used a word like, I don't give a which I do not think that for a diplomat. Now to my question. I feel that Russia currently has presence in the region, in the region, and the strategies Russia use include the social media propaganda and cyber terrorism. Several media houses have reported cyber attacks to their online portals, which were traced to Russian origin. What's Ghana's foreign policy in reference to Russia wanting to have regional control or influence? And especially against the backdrop that my foreign minister nominee has been in Russia recently to help His Excellency the President launch a book on my first coup d'etat.
Well, thank you very much. And your foreign minister nominee has also been to the United States recently, has been to France recently, has been to the United Kingdom recently, and has been to Ukraine recently. So let's place all of that on record. And I would like to proceed with caution that I do not think that, looking at how sensitive this role is and how, our foreign policy, which enjoins us to pursue positive neutrality, to be friends of all and enemies to none. I do not want to single out any country in this engagement for condemnation, for obvious reasons. I mean, when it comes from some other people, it depends on how it will be taken. But if it comes from me, even if I'm responding to a question, it can be taken as a position of the new government, and it can create a diplomatic row or a tiff, or even escalate into something else which we do not want. So I will plead that, Mr. Chairman, you permit me to stay away from condemning specific countries. If you want me to answer generally,
permitted.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Any further question?
That is my foreign minister nominee, and I like the response. My second question, I actually had the opportunity of asking the same question to the transport minister nominee, and it has to do with the third-class treatment Ghanaian passengers face. It's a situation that for me is worrying. We are made to pay high fares, plane fares. We are given third-class planes or aircrafts. We are giving terminals that are virtually unused or abandoned. And in fact, we are even serve food on planes, which one can easily decline taking those. Mr. Foreign Minister nominee, any assurances as to how you are going to ensure that vis-a-vis what the Nigerians use, what the South Africans use, you are going to have Ghanaians use get similar treatment? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Member, for this question. And it's a very important matter. And you will recall, if you go through the Hansard, you will see that this is a matter that I have raised on a number of occasions. And it's a matter we have to address as a country. And it comes back to the earlier point I was making. Our negotiation skills, our negotiation abilities, you know. These airline operators are not doing us favors. They are here for business, to make profit. It's a commercial entity, and it has to be a win-win situation. You see other countries demanding high standards, even the fleet, you know, the quality of the service, you know, and we've had situations where you have airline operators even bringing aircrafts that pose security risk, you know, that are not safe for the use of our passengers. So one of the things we are going to do when given the nod is to collaborate effectively with the various sector ministries. What I like about the foreign service is that we are there for all, we serve everybody, we facilitate everybody's priority and everybody's engagement. So the transport ministry, the various ministries that will be responsible for negotiating some of these terms, including the finance ministry, we will facilitate and help in the coordination. And if we are invited to be part of those meetings, we will state clearly that Ghana deserves better, and we are not going to accept this discrimination. Related to that, another matter I'm very passionate about is how our visa applicants are treated. It's a matter I'm going to address strongly and forcefully. I mean, you apply for visa and you are treated as though you are some slave. Even a decent place, a waiting area. I mean, I see sometimes senior citizens, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of our country, and they are just abandoned there, you know, the vagaries of the weather. They don't care if it's raining or if the sun is so scorching. You know, nobody cares. These missions don't seem to care. You know, we will not accept that. And we are going to engage with ambassadors that there ought to be respect for our citizens and for our people. You know, so be rest assured that in all of its, you know, variants and features, we will stand up for Ghana and insist that Ghanaians' rights are protected. And it's going to be a major area that we'll focus on as a ministry. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further question?
Yes, just a follow-up. I was still going to indicate the issue of visa acquisition. And to still ask, I've seen that you have a broader knowledge of what the issues are, but I didn't see you adduce or give any solutions, because you just behaved like me. I know these are the problems, but what are the solutions? One of which is, are we even considering to expand or extend our visa-free countries?
Yeah, thank you very much. I have been trying to manage, you know, the chairman's restriction of the time and also providing solution. That is why you may not be hearing a lot more, but I can really espouse, give you greater detail if I will be allowed by the chair. On visa acquisitions, yes, I believe that we should have more visa waiver agreements. I'm an advocate of that, so that we can waive visa restrictions. I am also in full support of permitting Africans to travel to Ghana without requiring visas. It's one of the final decisions that President Akufo-Addo took. I can commit that after discussions with President Mahama, it's something that's going to continue, because as a Pan-Africanist, he believes in that. We will just have to make sure that we look at all the security aspects so that it doesn't become a medium for all kinds of, unwanted elements coming into our society to undermine the peace and stability which we enjoy. So the ministry is currently looking at the implementation, how to make sure that it works in the best interest of our people. So be rest assured that visa waiver agreements, you are going to see more of that. The last time we approved that of Colombia, South Africa, and I know there are quite a number in the works. We are going to work on a lot more visa waiver agreements.
Thank you very much. Any further question? Your last question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So, Honorable Nominee, I've listened to you quietly throughout your submissions. One of the things I picked was your consistent conversation on unity, and basically narrowing it down to African unity. But I also observed that in the President's release, the EI, there was no consideration for Ministry of Foreign Affairs and regional integration. And against the backdrop that the focus is now to some extent on the Sahelian issues, and I don't know, I'm confused. Do you want to expatiate on why we do not have regional integration? And have you had the opportunity of talking to my very senior sister, Honorable Shelley Ayokoboche, on all of this?
Well, thank you very much. You are right that the new EI simply refers to the ministry as a ministry, remain a priority area. But the thinking is that let's not limit the scope of the ministry. That name suggests as though the ministry has one focus, even though regional integration is important. So we'll still maintain the Regional Integration Bureau. We are still going to be champions of African integration. Everybody knows that that is Ghana's forte. We are the foremost nation since the day of the Osajefo to advocate for an integrated, united union of African states. So that will remain a priority, but it's just a simple nomenclature issue. On engagement with the Honorable Foreign Minister, you do know, have continued to engage with the Minister and her deputies when I served as ranking member. Sometimes because of the oversight, you will understand that relations may not be as great because of the oversight, and how passionate I have been about protecting the public purse. But it is definitely without malice, and I would put on record that we have great working relations. I have enormous respect for her, and I'm going to support her at the Commonwealth, where she has become the Secretary General. And you do know that our flag bearer at the time, President Mahama, put out a formal statement on our behalf, our collective behalf, celebrating her, celebrating the Honorable Shelley Ayokoboche on her electoral victory as Commonwealth Secretary General. So I have nothing against the former minister, and we'll work together within the Commonwealth.
Thank you very much. Very well.
Yes, I'm excited to know that there is a very good working relationship. I want to find out, flowing from that, if you want to be seen to be pushing for such very enviable positions. The Secretary General, I think I remember Honorable Anata Tekpora, and Honorable Ibn Chambers, and then now my venerable sister, Honorable Shelley Ayokobuchi, and Kofi Annan. I want to see Honorable Okujeto. Are you going to assure us that it is a path you are going to push?
Honorable member, the question is overruled. You have to determine whether you can do that or not. And it's not a matter that you should be disclosing to the whole world.
How?
Thank you very much.
How is that?
I will give the floor to Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafamoko.
Chairman, Chairman, ma zamonu popo mada gbogbo na mi o dupola John Dramani Mahama. Abe ale na otiamiefu Honorable Samuel Kujeto Ablakwabe na foreign minister na Ghana dukonene. Mio tonto batoto ofoduko voter regime mi dakpo gbogbo na. Togbe jekle pli o duko fi o tu bato o dakpo gbogbo na. Ta wezo.
Mr. Chairman.
Babiare Kamala Sinyo. Babiare Kakuela Sinyanya be.
Translate.
I will. Let me land. I will translate it perfectly for you. Nyababia kwenya be na scholarship ya na chodu bubu made ali la wena wa camion of yosi. To wit. Congratulations. The entire voter region, the town citizens, especially the Bato citizens, they are very proud of you. And Togbe Jekle and his entire chieftaincy council, traditional council, they are proud of you. So you are welcome. Very simple question. How will you make easily available to Ghanaian young men who are desirous of studying, especially postgraduate programs in other countries, scholarships accessible to them? I thank you.
Yo anyaha madakpa no. Majiba amashaba na nyaba doya mikata miawe na waja amashaba nu na miava duplola His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ghana tokata wakpo jijo ba adwa miewe ye miewe nyi ta akpanao. To wait, thanking my brother and assuring the President and the nation that we will work together, we will work hard to make sure that we do not disappoint the country. Scholarships is a very, very important matter. There are many times I've attended diplomatic engagements and I am approached and told that, oh, we had this 200 scholarships, we had this 400 scholarships. You people are not coming up. The window is closing. What is happening? So I think that moving forward, we need to really pay attention to these bilateral scholarships that many countries provide. And I recall as Deputy Minister in charge of tertiary education, I negotiated the Hungarian bilateral scholarship, which every year 100 Ghanaians are accepted in Hungary for postgraduate studies. That is a sure way of reducing the burden on Get Fund, on Scholarship Secretariat, GMPC and others who are struggling with a narrow fiscal space to sponsor scholarships. If we really revamp bilateral scholarships and we make it available, practically, what I want us to do is to have a dedicated website where all of these scholarships will be published. The criteria will be provided, and we are actually going to have dedicated officers who will assist our citizens to access these scholarships. There are too many of these bilateral scholarships that people don't know about. And by the time they even get to know, the deadline is over. You know, I know that countries like the UK, the US, China, Japan, South Korea, many of these countries, we have bilateral agreements with them. They have scholarships that often we are not able to take full advantage of. So it's a matter that is going to receive urgent attention. We'll demystify it, have a dedicated website for all of these bilateral scholarships, have dedicated officers who will facilitate the process. And the other innovation that you should also expect is that I want us to look at the passport fee regime again, so that we will create some dispensation which will omit some categories of Ghanaians, particularly brilliant but needy students, from paying passport fees. It should be possible to have them subsidized so that the frequent travelers in the business category, entrepreneurs, the rich applicants, they can pay a little more for expedited service to subsidize the vulnerable, poor visa applicants. I don't understand why that cannot be part of the package that you receive as a student when you are going on scholarship abroad, because you are classified as brilliant but needy. So why should you be struggling to pay passport fees? I think we can take a second look at the fee structure and exempt our needy students. So these are some of the interventions we will be doing in the area of scholarships.
Thank you. Any further questions?
Yes, Chairman. You and Southern, we have very close relationship. So on behalf of my people in Southern, especially in Tongo, Germany, they send their gratitude and they wish you all the best. Germany, talk Akbar.
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking good care of them.
I then proceed to recognize the Deputy Minority Leader and the Deputy Ranking Member of the Committee, Honorable Patricia Piaget.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I seek to yield to the former Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs in the person of Honorable Mavis Nkasa Bodu. Thank you.
Honorable Mavis Nkasa Bodu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And let me join the other colleagues on congratulating the Honorable Member. Honorable Nominee, let me take you back to the appointment of Lieutenant Colonel Devlolate as a special envoy to the Alliance of Sahel States. I want to find out, as the individual earmarked for this ministry, did the President confer with you before making such an appointment?
Very important question, and thank you, Honorable former Deputy Minister. The sequencing, or that I had not been named as Foreign Minister. We were all wondering what will happen. I know the President kept his cards close to his chest. We didn't know which ministry we'll be serving in, or if we'll even be considered for appointments at all. So it was very early, and I wasn't a Foreign Minister designate. So I couldn't have been consulted.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So that brings me to my question.
Well, then the one you asked, what is it?
Honorable, I was just...
Please, treat that as your question number one. Proceed to question number two.
That will be a follow-up, Honorable Chair. Thank you very much. So then I want to find
follow-up flowing from the answer.
Yes, please.
That at that time,
yes,
he was not
in regards
nominated.
To his appointment as the special envoy to the Sahel states. Yes, so then, Honorable Nominee, I want to find out from you, can you take us through the step-to-step mission of this special envoy? considering the fact that all these three states are headed by military leaders and the intervention by ECOWAS, their exit from ECOWAS, and our continuous membership with ECOWAS? Thank you.
If I heard you accurately, is it about his mandate? His mandate. Okay, thank you very much. First of all, Lieutenant Colonel Bevlolate is a good uncle of mine, and so if you are probably concerned about working, when he was National Security Coordinator, I was Deputy Minister for Information, and we worked together. So we have had a long-standing, very cordial and warm working relations, and I can proudly say he's one of the people that I look up to and I admire greatly. In terms of his mandate, as the statement issued by the presidency indicated, he is to help in restoring diplomatic relations, in helping with the efforts by ECOWAS and all of us member countries to bring them back into the fold. And then also to look at the security implications of their breakaway. Remember that Bevlolate is a security expert, former AU envoy on counterterrorism. And so he brings a lot of expertise to bear to help us, because everybody, all the experts are saying that the terrorism is coming down south from the Sahel, and if we don't act fast to stem the tide, we will be consumed in no time. And that's why under President Akufo-Addo, you initiated the Accra Initiative, to deal with the threat of violent extremism from particularly the Sahel. So his mandate is to open dialogue, and in diplomacy, dialogue is key, is really fundamental, and to help in bringing them back to the fold, whilst at the same time addressing the security challenges that the Sahel is posing to us as a country. So that's his mandate.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This will be my second question. Honorable nominee, let me start by saying that there's no malice intended with this question. I just want you, I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians would want to know. So then, some Ghanaians, the population, have described you as someone who is a populist. Some have also said that you're a propagandist. Others have said that you are quick to come out with information without verifying. I want to find out if the international community is supposed to go by this narration of you. What would you do, or what would you say today to put them at ease? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. If these are qualities that saves a country billions and billions of dollars, then we should encourage more of these qualities. And I'm sure the international community will be happy to know that there is a potential foreign minister from Ghana who is committed to meeting UN goals, AU goals, the goals of the international community in combating, corruption, waste, state capture, and that integrity, is a quality that we all should really encourage and aspire to. And I can also place on record that in all of the work that we have been doing, we have not injured anybody's reputation. We verify, we make sure we validate. And you know me, that if I have not intercepted the right documents, done the right analysis, I don't put out what is, just imaginary or conjecture. I make sure that it is credible and unimpeachable. So please be rest